The Furious Charge Barbarian, boys and girls. This is it. Check this build out. I'm going to explain this after this quick gameplay video here. The build is phenomenal. You guys are going to have an absolute ball with this build. I tell you, you'll have an absolute ball. Things will just die. You just charge them, things will die. Simple as that, honestly. The more enemies that there is, the better, definitely. You want big packs to charge through. So big that your computer will lag. Look at all these explosions going around, everything's just dying. Alright, is that enough? Let's head back into town and we'll go through this build so I can explain it to you all. You guys get the point. I'm sure you get the point. Okay, nerdlings, so we did a quick gameplay video there. You know what this build's about. Furious Charge. We furiously charge shit and it dies. Simple as that. So it's very simple. Furious Charge is our primary damage dealer, but the way the build works, I'm going to go through it all right now because there is a few things that you do need to know. Let's start off with skills now. So Ancient Spear with bul-kathos, basically this is like a fury dump, alright? When you activate Ancient Spear with bul-kathos, all of your fury is gone, and this basically helps us keep our Wrath of the Berserker up 100% of the time. Because of the bonuses with our set items, we can keep Wrath of the Berserker up 100% of the time based on the fury that we use. So we dump it here in one go, and basically we do that twice in a rotation and Wrath of the Berserker pops back up. So we can have instant Wrath of the Berserker, and that is huge, having Wrath of the Berserker up the whole time. Sprint with Marathon we want. Furious Charge with Battering Ram. Battle Rage with, I think Bloodshed is probably the best way to go here, but I mean you can use Ferocity. Ferocity is good because it increases your movement speed, which actually goes hand in hand with something we have in Can Ice Cube. Go with either Ferocity or Bloodshed. I changed it because I've just been experimenting. Alright, I did promise that I'll do a build video for this. I'm still experimenting with it, so don't get too angry with me. We want Call of the Ancients with Together as One, and definitely Wrath of the Berserker with Insanity. Alright. Passive skills, we want Rampage, Berserker Rage, Tough as Nails for a bit of survivability, and Brawler. Alrighty, so that covers all of our skills here. Let's go into gear so it'll explain a bit better with some of our selections here. Now what I've done is I've gone with a 4 set bonus of Raekors. Alright, basically gives us our Furious Charge, which has a 300% damage increase. I was experimenting with a 6-piece Raekors set build, but it's absolutely nowhere near as good as having 6 pieces of Immortal Kings and the 4 pieces of Raekors. As far as damage goes, for greater rifts, for normal rifting, for speed farming, this is the best way to go with a Furious Charge build. We will be doing a set dungeon, and then I'll be making some changes because we must have the 6 set bonus for the set dungeon. So we will be doing a few changes with the set dungeon, but it'll basically be set around this build. Alright, so it'll revolve around this build. In the meantime, not worrying about the set dungeon, let's just do this. This is for greater rifting, speed farming, for all of your Diablo 3 needs. Okay, so we want Immortal Kings Triumph in our helm piece. We want Immortal Kings chest piece. We want Immortal Kings binding, so the belt. Immortal Kings gloves, and Immortal Kings boulder breaker, which I have an ancient. The more damage you have for this, the better, and make sure that you have a socket and you have a emerald socket in there for max critical hit damage. Okay, so that covers all of our Immortal Kings items. The reason that we have 5 equipped and not 6 is because you'll see in a moment in Can Ice Cube I have a ring of royal grandeur, so that gives us the 6 set bonus. Alright, in case you're wondering, hey, that's only 5. It makes sense. Alright, so ring of royal grandeur gives us the 6 set bonus with only 5 set items. Raekors, we got shoulders, the pants, and the boots. Alright, so 3 items plus the Ring of Royal Grandeur in the Canized Cube gives us the 4 set bonuses, which is Furious Charge, deals 300% increased damage. And if you look at Immortal Kings bonuses, it's huge. So 2 set bonuses, Call of the Ancients lasts until they die. That's absolutely huge. 4 set bonuses, reduce the cooldown of Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients by 3 seconds for every 10 Fury you spend with an attack. So this is why we have that Fury dump that I was talking about. So that Ancient Spear with bul-kathos, as soon as we're full on Fury, hit that and it'll dump all of your Fury there. And that'll really reduce the cooldown cost of Wrath of the Berserker. And you'll see it'll be ready to go before it even runs out. So after that you can just run around charging things at full Fury and you've got nothing to worry about because you're already ready to reactivate Wrath of the Berserker and your Call of the Ancients. Alright, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And of course the 6th set bonus is while both Wrath of the Berserker and Call of the Ancients is active, you deal 250% increased damage. So make sure that we activate those 2 bad boys at once. Just hit 3 and 4, which is in my case 3 and 4, or whatever you assign your keys to. Make sure you activate them at the same time and you will deal huge, ample amounts of damage, 250%. Alright, so very, very important, and keeping in mind that when we dump that Fury with the Ancient Spear bul-kathos, we obviously reduce the cooldown greatly of those 2, so we can just keep spamming it after that as we're furiously charging, like you saw in my gameplay video. As far as the rings and amulet go, definitely want focus and restraint. And I'm using Pain Enhancer. This is working for me very well. Bane of the Trapped and Amulet. Get a Hellfire Amulet, but I haven't got the perfect Hellfire Amulet yet, so I'm just using this random amulet here, Golden Gorget. But definitely, I'd recommend getting a Hellfire Amulet with physical 20% damage increase and critical hit chance, critical hit damage, obviously, with a socket as well. Bane of the Stricken is the amulet socket that I'm using too. That pretty much covers off our gear and our gems there. Sorry, the braces. I'm using strong arm braces. Basically, enemies hit with knockback effects suffer 20% increased damage. So Furious Charge is a knockback effect. So as you can see, charge all enemies in your path, damage them and knock them back. We get a 27% increase in damage by having the strong arm braces. If you're struggling with survivability, get your Ancient Path and Defenders. That will definitely help you with survivability. Same goes with gems. If you're struggling with survivability, probably sub out Pain Enhancer for Esoteric Alteration. Alright, that'll give you some survivability as well. But you should be fine. As you saw, I didn't even really come close to death when I was charging all those packs. So I think you'll definitely be fine. That covers off our gear. We'll go through our canized powers. This is very important. These are non-negotiable. You must have these. Number 1, your weapon standoff. So Furious Charge deals increased damage equal to 250% of your bonus movement speed. Make sure that you have your 25% movement speed cap. And then you will deal all that extra damage as it says in the standoff sword. So you must have the standoff as your weapon. If not, the furnace is nice too if you don't have it yet, but definitely farm for it and get that standoff so you can have it in Canized Cube. Armor, definitely want Vile Ward, which increases your Furious Charge damage by 35%. Definitely a must have. And as I mentioned, Ring of Royal Grandeur you must have as well, because it gives us our 6-piece set bonus for Immortals and our 4 set for Raekors, even though we only have 5 items of Immortals equipped and 3 items of Raekors. Alright, works very well, and you definitely want all of these 3 items in your Canized Cube. Now let's do some Paragon points. It's pretty self-explanatory. Based on your movement speed through your gear, I've got 12% on my boots, so I've added 13% to my movement speed in core. Basically that'll give us our 25% cap. Everything else dump it into strength. Offense, as you can see, I'm fully capped here with everything, but we want critical hit damage, critical hit chance, cooldown reduction and attack speed in that order, alright, depending on your Paragon level. Defense, we want resist all, we want armor, life, and then life regeneration in that order. Utility, We will start with resource cost reduction, area damage, life on hit, and then lastly gold find, which isn't important at all. So you saw my gameplay video, you saw what this build's all about. Give it a go, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Just remember that you must dump your fury as you charge through your enemies, and make sure that you spam Call of the Ancients and Wrath of the Berserker. Keep them up as soon as they're available to be reactivated, and obviously use your Battle Rage as soon as that's ready to be reactivated as well. So keep all your buffs up, keep charging, and definitely aim for large packs. This build kind of sucks if there's only 2 or 3 mobs around. You better get out of there and look for a pack. Or it's good against Rift Guardians and bosses, because against a single target, Furious Charge will actually reactivate. You know, so if you attack one single target, it will reactivate. So the build works wonderful. Give it a go, check it out. If you have any comments, if I've missed anything, please let me know, and I will definitely help you out. Until next time, I will be back with the Raekors set dungeon, so make sure you tune back for that. Thank you all. See you all again real soon.